Now, I personally have not watched any episode of House of the Dragon, so I'm not going to attest either way as to the quality of storytelling and characters and so forth in regards to that show. However, when you have Amazon purchasing rights to one of the biggest intellectual properties in existence, and coming along with that, one of the biggest fandoms in existence, predating any fandoms we know today by, like this title says, a considerable margin, the fact Rings of Power was beaten by House of the Dragon as far as premieres go is just sad. Is just fucking sad, to be perfectly honest with you. Hello, this is Mario J, and I'm back with another video, and for days after the premiere of episodes 1 and 2 of Rings of Power, Amazon was boasting of the number of viewers for those episodes. 25 million, I believe, was the total, and they were boasting it for, like I said, days afterwards. That was one of the highest premieres and so forth for Amazon Prime streaming. But as I pointed out on the Talk Nerdy to Us episode the Saturday afterwards, when you crunch the numbers, 25 million isn't exactly, when you factor in that it was spread across a combination of 240 countries and territories. 25 million isn't a huge number. Isn't a huge number at all when you do a little bit of math. You take that into consideration. But they kind of like glossed over that to boast, 25 million viewers pretty much. But now, new data is coming out. Now, it's not exactly pinpoint accurate or anything like that. It's just suggesting right now, based on, from Samba TV, that more U.S. households watched the premiere of House of the Dragon versus Rings of Power. Again, nothing personal against House of the Dragon. I can't say one way or another if it's actually better than Rings of Power, because I only watched the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. However, you have one of the biggest intellectual properties in existence owned, like rights owned by Amazon, and they somehow did not at least come on par with House of the Dragon in terms of viewers. But at any rate, let's just dive right into this article so we can get a gauge of what the numbers are suggesting as far as total U.S. households viewing Rings of Power. So here it is. So House of the Dragon is beating Rings of Power in the fantasy TV war according to new data. Both shows have been warmly received by critics so far. Yeah, because Access Media is always believable, right? But anyway, per Samba TV, a lot more U.S. households watched House of the Dragon Episode 1 versus Rings of Power Episode 1. In both shows' first 4 days, House of the Dragon was watched by 4.8 million U.S. households, so nearly 5 million U.S. households, just in the U.S. alone, while Rings of Power drew 1.8 million U.S. households, according to this data. Alright? House of the Dragon, nearly 3 times the number of U.S. households. Again, I can't beat the dead horse enough. I have not watched any fucking episodes of House of the Dragon, so I can't say it's one way or another if it's good or bad. But Rings of Power should at least have been on fucking par with House of the Dragon, with Amazon's Prime streaming service, and yet House of the Dragon beat it. What's more, 2.6 million of those House of the Dragon household views were in its first 6 hours. Just in the first 6 hours. That there alone beats the 1.8 million for Rings of Power. So here's the tweets. So as Middle-earth vs. Westeros has a winner in the U.S. according to third-party researcher Samba TV, as new Prime Video Rings of Power was watched in 1.8 million U.S. households in the first 4 days, House of the Dragon had 2.6 million just on Sunday premiere night alone. But Rings of Power had victories as well, yada yada yada. Okay, but here, 1.8 million. Just in the Sunday premiere night alone for House of the Dragon beat Rings of Power. Alright? So Amazon Prime Video shared that the Rings of Power brought in 25 million global views in its first 24 hours streaming, which is the biggest ever debut for a Prime Video TV show. Okay, nothing necessarily against Amazon Prime in this case, but every fucking streaming service is going to brag about this shit. And like I said, if you actually kind of crunch the numbers, because they're glossing over the fact that this 25 million global views is spread over 240 countries and territories, that's not a huge number. That's not a huge number in my own humble opinion when you actually do some math. But there it is, alright? there it is. HBO, meanwhile, declared just shy of 10 million US viewers on premiere night. 25 million global viewers, HBO, meanwhile, 10 million US viewers. Alright? So, when you factor in the global viewers, House of Dragon still beating Rings of Power. Or at least it's coming close, pretty much. But anyway, Samba TV only measures views from certain TVs, however, which might explain the discrepancy with HBO's own figures. Like I said, it's not exactly pinpoint accurate, but at the same time, it's the fourth biggest streaming show of the year so far, behind House of the Dragon, Stranger Things, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright? Okay, I have not watched Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have checked out Star Wars a long time ago. Okay? I enjoyed overall the new season of Stranger Things. However, it's something that's supposed to be intellectually tied to Lord of the Rings, the Tolkien fandom, Middle Earth, and it's being beaten by Stranger Things and Obi-Wan Kenobi. They try to spin it as positively as they fucking can, but that's just sad. Right here. Alright. But, okay, here's a reply to his tweet. May want to pay attention to the fact that according to Samba TV viewership for Rings of Power, the second episode released on the same day as the season premiere is 20% lower, as only 1.3 million US households gave episode 2 a go after watching episode 1 on its first 4 days. So just in the first 4 days, right, you had 500,000 households saying nope after episode 1. Alright? And considering series released on streaming in 2022 measured by Samba TV, it's the fourth biggest, blah blah blah, behind House of the Dragon, Stranger Things, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Which, again, sad. It beat Moon Knight, which is like, okay, from what I could tell, not that fucking hard. But still, should have been on par with House of the Dragon. The fact that it's behind Stranger Things and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright, House of the Dragon has already been renewed for Season 2, while Rings of Power will return for a huge 5 seasons. That remains to be seen, because I really want to see what the drop is from the first week to the second week for Rings of Power. That really tells you the longevity of a series. And when the general consensus among user reviews, and I'm just ignoring lore for this one moment, alright? When the general consensus from US viewers or viewers and user reviews and so forth in general is one of major indifference to a property that should have engaged you in just the first episode alone, never mind they released 2, when you have people not even bothering just in the first 4 days after episode 1 watching episode 2. What's the drop going to be like from those first 2 episodes to episode 3? I'm really curious, morbidly so, but really curious, because I will be watching it, drink up me hearties, yo-ho, pretty much, and giving my honest reaction to it in a review afterwards, tomorrow, as well as a spoiler breakdown the day after. But I'm really curious to see when those numbers actually get released, if they do get released at all, and what the percentage of a drop it is. Just out of morbid curiosity. Maybe I'll take a little bit of pleasure out of that, and I know you're watching this video going, you've watched my videos, ha, maybe you'll get pleasure. But anyway, what are your thoughts down in the comments below? Are you surprised at this? Are you not surprised at this? Did you watch the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power? What did you think of it? Have you been watching House of the Dragon? What have you been thinking of that show? Let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. I'm going to try to be live on Twitch later on this evening. Probably playing some Aliens Fireteam Elite. We'll see, depending on how I feel, given the situation with my car and everything. So, about 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll try to jump on, play a little bit on Twitch. Jade_Fire is my Twitch handle, so come hang out with me there. Again, I'll be posting a review for episode 3 of Rings of Power tomorrow once I watch it and kind of get my thoughts together on what the episode entails and so forth. And then following day will be a spoiler review breakdown of sorts around 4 p.m. Eastern or so on Saturday. And then Talk Nerdy to Us will be on my channel Saturday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, so tune in for that as well. Again, let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. Are you surprised? Not surprised? Have you watched Rings of Power? Have you watched House of the Dragon? Everything. Let me know all that down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe again. This is Mara Jade, catching you on the dark side, and sailing the high seas again, yo-ho.